Going to extremes triggers big bass during tough bites, and Extreme Bass Tactics explains how to fish bigger, smaller, deeper or shallower, faster or slower to get radical results. It's part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection available at anglingedge.com.
The wide spectrum of lures available to today's bass anglers ranges from ultra finesse to outright manic. Under some conditions, finesse presentations tease reluctant fish into biting subtle, lifelike, nearly motionless baits. At the opposite extreme, hard-hitting, in-your-face lures, like Lipless rattle baits, incorporate extreme sound and vibration to grab fish's attention from afar, and then trigger strikes with excess motion and commotion.
Get the net ready. Ooh, look at that.
Whoa! With that mouthful of
tank. Wow.
When you got smallies like this, up in shallow water, say about 10 feet or less, one of the best baits you can be chunking is a lipless crankbait. This is the new Clackin Rap from Rapala, and we've been doing really, really good on this bait. These fish, when they're up in shallow water, and in many parts of the country, big smallies are shallow all year long, a lipless crankbait can be absolutely dynamite, man.
The bait we're running right now is a Clackin Rap 6. This also comes in another size, an 8, which is a really good largemouth bass, northern pike bait. But this is a little bit more compact. It's 5/8 of an ounce. You cast like a bullet, but it's really the right size for smallmouth bass. And for the depth level we're fishing here, which is about 7 to 10 foot of water and shallower, up to about 6 foot of water, that number 8, you can fish that as deep as, 20, 25 foot of water if you'd care to. It fishes pretty quickly down to that depth with a jigging retrieve.
When these fish get like they are now, where they're not patterned on one distinct spot, like up on top of the rocks, you've got fish spread everywhere, that's where this bait has a tendency to shine too. You just cover the water, and they're feeding high. These fish right now are feeding on meat, not craws. So they're feeding high in the water column, and they're looking up. They're not looking down. And they're in between. They're roaming the high spots. They're roaming these pockets in between, and they're not bunched. These aren't schools of fish. They're single fish. One here, one here, one here, one here. They're kind of broken up pods.
That's what I think, that these fish they're not eating crayfish where you're ripping it, skipping it along the bottom and pounding it on the bottom. What these fish are doing, they're running minnows down that are suspended in the water column. That's why the high, steady retrieve seems to be working better.
Got him.
You got another one?
Yeah. Not a monster, James, just a brownie. I don't need a net on this one. I can just flop her in.
Fat little guy.
Yeah, well, look at the weight on that little baby.
Rattle baits really work all season long, from relatively cool water in spring to relatively cool water in fall. And we use them for a really wide range of different species of fish: northern pike, walleye, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass. Right now, we have one really important thing in this particular watershed we're fishing right now, and the water is stained. These baits are phenomenally effective in stained to dark water conditions. We're fishing a large, expansive boulder humps surrounded by weed beds. We're not sure exactly where the fish are going to come from. You go out, throw this bait out, make a lot of noise, rip it, change, and vary your retrieve, and it just catches a lot of fish. Ooh, boy, she ate the bait. The bait is gone. I think we're going to need the pliers
She's a big
on
fish.
One.
Big
Wow.
fish, Jimmy.
Come here,
Big
buddy.
fish.
Whoa, come here. There you go.
There you go, man.
Man, that's what you call
Oh,
one
boy, she's got that thing
big
launched, boy.
smallmouth. Holy mackerel.
Got her? Wow. Got the hook on it? Let me get you the pliers.
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
Pliers are a mainstay, James, in this bite. Boy, that's a big fish, man. Whew.
There we go. Ooh, look at the size of that thing. That's a big smallie. Holy mackerel. We'll get her back in the water. Wow. Come here, buddy. Boy, that's a big brownie. You all right? Yeah. Back to the depths.
Going to extremes triggers big bass during tough bites, and Extreme Bass Tactics explains how to fish bigger, smaller, deeper or shallower, faster or slower to get radical results. It's part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection available at anglingedge.com.